Entrepreneurs and small business owners, are you feeling overwhelmed by lack of capital, growth challenges, or personal branding? You are not alone. UCS Advisors is here for you. We're professional capital raising advisors committed to helping you secure funding and grow your business. Are you ready to impress investors? Check your investor readiness with our free 45-second quiz at ucsquiz.com. We believe in you. Visit ucsquiz.com and start your success journey. And remember, always be willing to achieve your greatness.
Boxcar offers direct luxury commuting service from various areas in New Jersey to the east side of Manhattan. For those of us that have experienced the demise of Penn Station, this is a welcome alternative. With their service, you can pop into the city on one of their luxury buses, which feature free Wi-Fi, a clean restroom, ample legroom, charging stations at each seat, as well as professional chauffeurs to make your daily commute actually enjoyable. For all of our listeners, use code GS25 when you download the app and save $25 on your first commute. Ready to travel into the city in style? Download the app on your personal device or visit their website at www.boxcar.com. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. So this is a little bit different of a start for an episode than we've done in the past. So this is going to be episode 86 with Donkey's Place in Camden. Obviously, right now, it's just me talking to you, the listener. But I did want to give a little bit of context for this episode before we actually dive into it and you get a chance to hear Rob and the Donkey's Place story and all that kind of stuff. So Donkey's Place is in Camden. I heard about it because of Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown episode where we travel around New Jersey. He said that this was the best Philly cheesesteak in the world. I would be inclined to agree. I mean, it was amazing. If you look on their website, their menu is very limited. They've been around for 87 years, I think, 80-something years. The Anthony Bourdain quote, I'm looking at the website right now, it says, the best cheesesteak in the area might well come from Jersey. But the menu is cheesesteaks, extra cheese, extra onion, extra meat, French fries, cheese fries, pickles, spicy pickles, tomatoes, chips, and stuffed cherry peppers. So we had the cheesesteak, the onion rings, and the stuffed cherry peppers. They were phenomenal. The peppers were stuffed with like a deli ham and some other stuff in there. And then the cheesesteaks are a little bit different than you would normally think of. They have like a poppy seed roll. The onions are phenomenal on there. The whole experience is really cool. It's a very divey type bar. And like I said, Rob's grandfather, the donkey, had started this business, way back. And Rob's obviously a very hardworking guy. So we drove down. Obviously, I live up in Morristown. We drove down. Christy and I drove down to Camden to have a cheesesteaks, to meet Rob, to do the episode. We had gotten down there, and Rob informed us that two of his people had called out that day, so he was going to have to work the grill. So not only was Rob doing the episode with us, he was also cooking cheesesteaks for the people that are in the bar while we're there. So if that gives you an idea of kind of the framework, structure, whatever you want to call it, of this episode, it is what it is. A lot of the people that we have on this show, as all of you that listen to this show on a consistent basis know, are hardworking people. This is their business. This is how they feed their families. This is how they make their livelihood. And sometimes this is it. And at the same time, this is kind of what I do. So we had a great time there. Obviously, Camden has its characteristics, I guess, that just made it a little bit interesting getting in and out of there. But at the same time, what I would say, on top of the food being so great, and Christy and I having such a great time there, the people of Donkey's Place that were in there were, I would argue, the nicest people that I've ever interacted with while recording an episode. Just regular people at the bar doing their thing. It was a Wednesday afternoon at like 3:00. They also have very interesting hours, so I would encourage you to check that out when you listen to this episode. He describes the hours that they're actually open. if you want a cheesesteak at 6 o'clock in the morning on a first Saturday of the month, you can do that. But you're not spending late nights out at Donkey's Place. But the people there were so kind, so energetic, so thoughtful of, kind of what we were doing, asking a lot of questions, asking for the website, where to find more information about the show, giving me tips on places that I can go and interview more cool food places. And that to me was really what made this particular episode so much fun. Obviously, like, the actual recording of it was something that, we just had to deal with. I always say, especially to guests when they feel self-conscious about, things going on around them. Like, the show thrives on chaos. There's always things going on. That's what happens when you record a podcast on location. But I think that adds to the excitement. It adds to the episode. And this was definitely an episode with some chaos, but we had a blast. I'll stop talking. So this episode, just because of the logistics of it, is going to be shorter than most of the episodes that you're accustomed to listening to. Next week is July 4th, so we're taking a break. So enjoy this one. If you ever get a chance to go down to Donkey's Place in Camden, please do so. Great people down there. The food's awesome. It's definitely a destination food spot. If you are a foodie, if you like cheesesteaks, if you like dive bars, you got to get down to Donkey's Place, get yourself a t-shirt, a cheesesteak, say hi to everybody. Everybody's awesome down there. And now I'll stop talking. We'll get on with the episode. So this is Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Cam. This is our episode with Donkey's Place, the owner, Rob Lucas Jr. Enjoy. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here in Camden, New Jersey today at Donkey's Place with Rob Lucas Jr. Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Just had my first ever Donkey's Place cheesesteak, and it was phenomenal. Awesome. As advertised, I feel like.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're back here, so you're going to be working the grill while also doing this interview, which is, we just love chaos on this show, so this, works out perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, we can do that for you. I can do some chaos.
Yeah. Okay, so how long has Donkey's Place been here?
80 years.
80 years.
Since 1943.
Okay. All right. And then, so it was your grandfather that started it,
yes.
right?
He was an Olympic boxer. They said he had to punch like a kick of a donkey, so they called it Donkey's Place.
Okay. Awesome. And so, was he originally from, are your family from Camden, Poland? Okay.
Yes.
So the donkey was from Poland originally, your grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah. And then so he came over and just, immediately started a little, this bar here?
Not sure exactly when it came over, but they started it pretty young. He was boxing in the 1928 Olympics, and they opened this in 1943.
Okay. Yeah. And so did you have a relationship with your grandfather?
He passed away before I was born.
Oh, okay. All right. And so then it went from your grandfather to your father to you, right?
Right. My dad was 3 when it opened. He pretty much worked here his whole life.
Okay.
And then I took over about 8 years ago.
Yeah. So how much in here has changed over the 80 years that it's been open?
Not much.
Okay.
It looks pretty much the same. A couple TVs, I guess they're new, but other than that, everything's the same.
Yeah, and has the cheesesteak been something that's from jump, that's what you had?
Pretty much.
That was
they did a couple extra things at the beginning. They had pork chops and soup and stuff like that, but it switched over to just cheesesteaks and cheeseburgers.
Okay.
For a while, because they used to slice their own meat and then the ends they grind up and make hamburgers out of.
Gotcha. And then, so let's talk about you for a little bit, because you're the owner now, right? So we got to know more about you.
Okay.
So at what point did you start, working here?
Well, when I was really young, I would peel onions here,
okay.
but not too much. It didn't really when I was working in Camden. It was rough back then, but now it's getting a lot nicer. So.
Yeah. It's I haven't been to Camden since college. I used to play baseball at TCNJ. We used to come and play Rutgers Camden. That was the extent of coming into Camden. Then we drive home.
Yep.
But just like Judson Trenton, so it's not too bad of a ride. But so your grandfather does it, your father does it, and then now you're doing it. Was there ever a point where you're just you know what, the bar, the cheesesteaks, that's not what I want to do. I want to do something else.
I was bartending when I was 22.
Yeah.
In Medford, and then Cherry Hill, and then came here after that.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to me a little bit also about just kind of obviously this place has been here for a long time, and a city like this, probably has
an interesting kind of relationship with places like this, simply because it's like such like an institution in the area, and like people come from places to
all over.
Yeah, all over. Just
people that drive down from New York.
Yeah.
Once every other month.
Yeah, and like I know obviously like with Anthony Bourdain doing this kind of stuff and all that, like coming in here on like when he did the New Jersey episode, but what's that like to kind of think back to like your grandfather opens his place just as like to open a spot. And now, like with the amount of notoriety and like all that kind of stuff that you've gotten, like has that changed kind of like how the place operates?
Not really. I mean, there's a line sometimes, but other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, yeah. Has there ever been a point where you're like, maybe we could try like some different stuff? Like, has that ever kind of come
we
through?
added wings and onion rings.
Yeah.
The fries are relatively new. They were only added maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
added 2 things in the last 8 years.
Okay. That's not many.
Nah.
Yeah. And then like when you do get like that level of like people coming through here, obviously like this is the biggest show Donkey's Place has ever been on, but just kidding. But like is that something that's almost like kind of like hard to even comprehend? Like just like it's like this little spot.
Awesome. So we're on the Anthony Bourdain. And, we're on the Goldbergs.
Yep.
And then the Preston and Steve show. That was a big one.
Okay.
Because it was all local.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's got to be like kind of crazy, right? Just like a little spot here.
It's awesome. I love it every time they do another show.
Yeah. Talk to me also about just like all the T-shirts and stuff, because like every time I look, it's like post your pictures of your T-shirts, like and I'm definitely walking out of here with a T-shirt.
Well,
like, there's no way.
So we started out. I think one of the first ones was a guy standing on an iceberg in Iceland.
Okay.
And then we posted that picture, and then people started sending us from like Egypt in front of the pyramids. I can't think of any cool ones. Mount Fiji, Hawaii. We got every state, up to like 40, 50 countries now with our shirt and a picture.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, that to me, like that's like a really cool way to kind of like connect with the people that kind of come through here. And it makes it more than just kind of like a walk in, have a cheesesteak and then leave. I think like that's, in my opinion, like as I was like watching the stuff that you guys do on social media and all that kind of stuff, just like watching it, it's like really cool to kind of see the kind of community that you've been able to build,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
No, okay. It's been cool to kind of see like the community that you've been able to build just like through different things like that, like beyond just simply like a restaurant.
I mean, the community is awesome. Like the people that come in here are great. See the same people all the time. Lots of regulars.
Yeah.
And lots of new people too.
Yeah.
So.
Is that interesting to kind of have people coming from like all over? Because I mean, imagine before like all like Anthony Bourdain, the Goldbergs, it was probably just mostly like a local spot, and then getting like people like me that would never even think to come down to Camden to have a cheesesteak.
So I was bartending in Medford, and this guy came in, and we started talking, and he came in. He knew my dad, and he said my grandfather served him, and then my dad served him, and then I served him. And I was like, I told my dad, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. This never happened again. And he looked at me like it happens every day at the bar.
Yeah.
But that's neat.
Yeah. It just like, I mean, also just kind of like, you throw like a lot of events here in like the lot and stuff like that, or like outdoor stuff. Maybe not events per se, but
not too many of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Just kind of like.
But so we opened up I added on the first Saturday.
Okay.
Because when I was born, my dad closed on Saturday and Sunday because he said he never got time to spend with his dad, and he didn't want that for me growing up. So he closed on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then when I took over, I added on the first Saturday for all the people that can't get here during the week.
Yeah.
And now we open at 7 a.m. and there's a line going out to the tree.
Yeah.
And it's packed by 7:30.
That's pretty surprising. Not opening on the weekends. Like it's a very interesting,
it's crazy.
very interesting business model.
Not open on the weekends.
Just like a weekday bar. Yeah. And like, do you think that's ever gonna change up, or just that's the way it's gonna stay?
If I could ever get it to the point where I don't have to be here, then we'll probably open on Saturday.
Yeah. And right now it's not looking great because like you're working the grill while we're doing this. Yep. Yeah. Like talk to me a little bit more, just kind of like growing like up in this environment, like because you also have like another spot right in Medford.
My brother's got one in Medford that's been there for over 20 years, and they just opened another one up in Mount Holly.
Okay.
It's just a takeout spot, but they got picnic tables out there, and that's going well too.
Yeah. Was that like a big undertaking going from just being like a local spot like this to like now opening a second and then a third location and making sure that like the quality and the like what people come to expect from Donkey's Place kind of like carries over into those spots.
It's easy. It's we're only really cooking one thing and fries.
That's true. Yeah.
So
yeah. That's really cool. So talk to me so if somebody comes here for the first time, like we just did, and they sit down at the bar and they have no idea kind of like what to get.
If it's their first time and they try to order whiz, I'll try to talk them out of it. Get American, definitely get onions and the hot peppers.
Yeah. Yeah, and talk to me also about like what kind of makes this cheesesteak different than like a cheesesteak people might be.
It's on a round pop Kaiser and the onions. There's a ton of onions.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's like the big main difference.
Definitely.
And it's also like the way the meat's kind of like cut up like
it's
that.
It's not chopped. It's more like a whole piece.
Yeah. And that's been pretty much the same way since Jump Street.
Cheese, meat, onions, then more cheese, and then the poppy seed roll on top.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's really cool. Like very unique, very interesting, and it was really, really good. I was so glad that we made the hike down here. So why don't we do this? Let's take our break,
okay,
and then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about all the stuff with Donkey's Place and you and everything like that, and then we'll be done.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So this is the Greens with Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Cam. We're here in Camden, New Jersey, at Donkey's Place with Rob Lucas Jr. We'll be right back. Voted one of the top 100 jazz clubs in the world, Shanghai Jazz in Madison, New Jersey has been entertaining its customers for almost 30 years with world-class live music, great food, and a commitment to hospitality that creates an exceptional atmosphere. Plus, if you're in the mood for a creative cocktail and incredible vibe, be sure to check out Encore Speakeasy, located downstairs in Shanghai Jazz. As one of my favorite restaurants in the area, I personally guarantee you will have a great experience. Check out the music schedule, the menu, or to make a reservation, head to shanghaijazz.com. The Mayo Performing Arts Center is the heart of arts and entertainment in Morristown, New Jersey. MPAC presents over 200 events annually and is home to an innovative children's arts education program. To see MPAC's upcoming schedule of world-class concerts, stand-up comedy, family shows, and more, head to mayoarts.org or just click the link in our show notes. Bored of going to the same park? Want to try a new local adventure? Well, then check out NJspots.com, your home for finding a new spot to discover right here in New Jersey. With dozens of maps to check out, local hiking spots, family-friendly places, and seasonal suggestions, NJspots is waiting for you to find somewhere new to explore. That's NJspots.com. All right, we're back for segment 2 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Cam. We're here in Camden, New Jersey at Donkey's Place with Rob Lucas Jr. So we mentioned at the beginning of this episode that we love chaos on this show, and we just had to take a break because it's whatever time it is right now, 3:45, and you just basically had a mini kind of rush all at once of people trying to get a sandwich, and there was a little bit of chaos. But handling that grill, impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so how long did it take you to get that good with knowing and keeping it moving as fast as you do?
I mean, every day I think it'll be a little faster. So we're still getting there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was doing it back in Medford 25 years ago, working that grill by myself, and that was easier. It wasn't as busy. I mean, we'll get days where PSC&G will order 150, 250 sandwiches.
Yeah.
And so I'll take them all. I was like, but do you have to come in real early, or the last thing, or 3 o'clock? We'll get a little window we can bang out 100 or something like that.
Yeah. Because you got this basically a 6-foot grill. Is this 6 feet? 5 foot?
4 or 5 foot.
Yeah,
and then
4 or
I
5
got
foot.
another 6 foot in the back where we can cook onions during the rush, and they'll bring them out and put them in buckets all at a time. And then on Fridays, they'll be cooking meat and just bringing back sheet pans full of meat and dumping them on the grill.
Yeah.
And putting them together right away.
Yeah. And then are there days or moments, events and stuff like that where this place will fill up more than usual and you're just it's Monday at 1, we know we're gonna get absolutely murdered at
Mondays are a great day.
Yeah.
But I wish they weren't, so I could close on Mondays,
right.
but it's too good of a day to close.
Yeah.
So Mondays and Fridays we open at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And then on Friday...
Do you do breakfast stuff at 7 a.m.?
No, just cheesesteaks. It started out on Fridays. We didn't have enough time to prep for the day. So I was like, you know what, we'll come in at 7 and I'll open. And now it's all the nurses and doctors come to get done at 7 o'clock, all the overnight workers.
Right.
And then we're busy on Fridays now at 7.
Yeah. And then, what are I would imagine, you mentioned you do the first Saturdays of the month you're open, and then you said, the lines out the door. That's got to be a crazy day.
I'll pull up at 6:30, and the parking lot will be full. There'll be a line out to the tree. We'll open up at 7, and by 7:30, you're lucky if you get a seat.
Yeah.
Summertime's a little easier.
Yeah.
But the wintertime, it's insane.
Right. And so, like, there must be, like, if you're recommending people that are coming from far away, like, I would
Either get here
imagine.
at 6:30 in the morning, or come. So a lot of people, they'll come at 7 and they'll clear out by 10.
Sure.
And then you got a little window where you can jump in, and then 3 o'clock is usually a slower time during the day.
Yeah.
But then it'll pick up after that. Like 5 o'clock will get hit until 6 o'clock, and then we're going home.
Yeah. But that's it. And then you get, either like that first weekend, you get most of your weekend back, and then, you're back at 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday. That's like so crazy to me. Just like, it's such a unique thing, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you have people coming in to get cheesesteaks. I mean, obviously, like doctors, nurses, stuff like that are important. But it's just like such a unique thing. And it's like interesting that you guys do that. Yeah.
I mean, the Saturdays are crazy. You'll watch it up there. It'll play it a little bit, but
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
Packed at 7.
Yeah, crazy. So we also mentioned that like the onions were like a big factor of like what you do.
I wouldn't eat one without onions.
Yeah.
People come in here that hate onions everywhere else, but they'll get onions on the cheesesteak
Yeah.
here.
Well, my girlfriend and I came down here, and like she was like, "I'm gonna get one with just extra cheese and no onions." And your bartender here was like, "You have to get onions. At least get it on the side, just because like it's such an integral part of like the whole experience."
So my dad would hide the onions underneath the cheese because he didn't think you knew what you were talking about if you said no onions.
Yeah, and then but so I guess you do like some requests, but you still want it to be, you want them to get like the full vibe, right?
Yeah. I mean, we will cook them without onions. So
Yeah, of course, but yeah, but still, like you're coming in here, and you better get one with onions. Yeah. Also, talk to me a little bit about kind of like, obviously, like you're the owner now and doing like all like these media things and like stuff like that. Like, I know we talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but was like that like a big jump just for like you personally?
It's tough. It's tough to be on camera and on the mic, especially the live ones in front of a green screen. It's just, I don't like those ones.
Yeah. Well, this is very low key and relaxed. And
this is an easy one.
Exactly. It's just to me like it's just so cool because like just traveling around, like we were just talking about like a place up in Newark that we've gone to before, and just like all these different places, like these little pockets all around New Jersey with just all these interesting stories and people that run them and all that kind of stuff. It's phenomenal, and like this is just a really cool spot.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have like, obviously, 2 other spots that have opened, since obviously this one opened. Do you have like other things that you're like interested in doing with Donkey's Place? Like, is there like goals in mind, like beyond the 4 walls of this place?
Maybe franchise eventually.
Okay.
But we haven't found the right place yet. I'd like to go buy the property, set it up that way I could have control over it.
Sure.
If they're not doing it right, then I just take it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's do this. If people want to like learn more, or if they want to like check the place out, like different things like that, what are some places that they can go to do that? Like website, social media?
We have a book. I'm going to grab that for you.
Yeah.
A lot about us. And then our website.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what it is. Donkey's Place on Facebook. Donkey's Place Camden on Facebook.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot on there. Instagram,
Yeah.
Twitter, all of them.
Awesome.
TikTok.
And like, so what's in this book?
Everything. The whole history.
Very cool. And so you've had like some serious people like rolling through here. Is that ever like kind of jarring too? Like just be like, oh shit, like they're here to eat like my cheesesteak. But you got, I'm sure at this
it's
point,
normal at this
you
point,
got used
so.
to it. Yeah. No, it's very
just
interesting.
the other day. What Eagles player was it? No. Seth Joyner was just in a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it, like, I mean, I guess you're not open on Sundays, but like Eagles games and stuff, I'm sure like on Mondays.
We're closed.
Mondays too? Like if they play like a Monday night?
So,
or a
Mondays
Thursday
were
night or
7
whatever.
a.m. to 6.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
by
you
the
don't
time the
even
game
get
starts,
there.
we're gone.
Yeah. So this isn't really like a late night bar spot.
6 o'clock, we're out.
Done. Yeah. Wow. So cool. That's just like such a unique spot, like I said. Okay, so I know you got like a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
I don't want to take up a lot more of your time, but I really appreciate you having us
Awesome.
down here.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
It's been a
great to
ball.
meet you. You
Same
know,
here.
like the cheesesteak was awesome, and I'm glad I made the trip and all that kind of stuff. So it was great meeting you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Same here.
So I will make sure that I put all the links and social media stuff in the show notes so people can go check it out, look at it, come down here when you get a chance and grab a cheesesteak. But again, so we were here in Camden, New Jersey at Donkey's Place with Rob Lucas Jr. I'm Mike Ham. This is the Greetings for the Garden State podcast. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.